Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Frankie C is here, and we're talking about the huge news that broke yesterday. We did a special podcast on it. Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre settle their civil case. We'll have all the latest, like is the Queen footing the bill for this settlement? There's calls now for Andrew to lose his last remaining title, and a pretty interesting restriction as we sort of get what this agreement is. It starts to leak out. We're going to have more and more for you. The executive caught in a CNN scandal finally resigns. That happened today. Chris Cuomo is still claiming that nothing happened during his allegations. Anthony Weiner, pretty interesting appearance on Hannity. We'll share that with you. Donald Trump has rolled out his social media platform. More on that in a moment. Tom Brady is trolling the Super Bowl parade for the LA Rams. Kyrie Irving is getting some support from Mayor Adams. Speaking of which, the mayor of New York City slammed the press coverage for a lack of diversity. And of course, we'll have your fan feedback on this episode as well. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. All that information is up at anthonyonair.com. How you doing, Frankie C?
Whew, that was a mouthful. I'm good.
It was a lot. That's a lot.
What she said.
We got a lot. We got a lot going on. That is what she said. Let's jump right into the Prince Andrew settlement. Again, I did a pretty about a half hour on the breaking news yesterday. I was shocked. I'm still kind of shocked. I'm not going to rehash everything. Again, you can go back and watch or listen to that episode that we dropped on you yesterday to get my full feeling on this. I'll say I'm disappointed. I thought Virginia Giuffre was going to fight it all the way through. That's kind of how she positioned herself. Yeah. She said numerous times there will be no settlement, and then there was a settlement.
You know, when you're the victim of something like this, you don't. Maybe she just wanted it over with. You know, she just another year of dragging this out. You know.
Yeah.
It could be just her just wanting it to be done with.
It's hard to victim shame, which I don't think I did, but I you know, and everybody kind of saw my point. I don't know if everybody agreed with me, but understood my point, and I was happy with how it came out. So again,
we get it. We want to see justice. You want to see the guy get the full extent of the law. You know.
Yeah. Because that's my thing. Like, if this was any other victim, first time victim, you know, this is Virginia's got some money. She's settled. She's safe.
Well, you know, here's the thing. If it went through all the way, it was a civil case, right? So the only thing that could happen would be money would exchange hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this just beats that. It would be the same outcome. And she was just, you know, probably took a little bit less of an amount of a settlement.
Yeah, but I think, you know, it goes back to her saying that he's got to admit
guilt, right?
And he did not.
Right.
He did not. But there's the third part of our opening topic here is interesting on that exact topic. So hang on for that. But let's start with who's footing the bill for this. So we started with the report yesterday that one of the sources who said how much the settlement was going to be, which we think now is upwards of $16 million, 10 or 12 directly to Virginia Giuffre, and then he's going to donate to the charity. So it looks like that's going to be 4 to 6, depending on if it's 10 to 12. And again, this is all estimates from a source who has knowledge of the information, which, let's be honest, it's one of Virginia's lawyers who's putting this out there, because
we don't know that.
Yes, we do, because who else would know? It's an agreement between the two parties. There's no secretary.
It could be a secretary. It could be someone involved in the you know, the paperwork.
It's Virginia's
underlings.
It's Virginia's lawyers for sure.
Okay.
So that's what they're saying. And the Telegraph, who had the source here, what they're saying now is, because what we originally heard and talked about yesterday was the Queen's going to pay for this, if not all, a majority of. Now, they reached out to Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace says they have never commented on the financial aspects of the Duke of York's private legal affairs, and they're not going to now. However, the source is saying that the Queen is going to be paying from her private DUCHY. How would you pronounce that? I'm not pronouncing anything anymore. After Viola. I'm checking. I have to check with Frank first. That's the new rule on the show.
DUCHY?
Yeah. Is that douchey?
I hope not. I gonna be honest. I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that phrase.
All right, we have a lot of great listeners and viewers from
Duchy.
Great Britain. They can fill us in. Anyway, the Duchy of Lancaster Estate.
Oh, we're gonna get ripped up.
Yeah, Duchy. The Duchy.
You got to pass it to the left. Though.
That's true. I think the Lancaster Estate is on the left, if that's the case. Anyway, it means that the money. Duchy?
Yeah.
I like Duchy better. It means that the money wouldn't be coming from the taxpayers' money.
It comes from the territory of a duke or duchess.
Okay. But here's my issue with this. I think however you want to pronounce it, I think what they're saying is
Duchy.
This is going to be coming from her money, not taxpayer money. But who the fuck has been paying this woman for the last 80 years?
How does she make her money? How does the royal family have any money?
From the taxpayers.
The taxpayers. I would imagine. Unless they hold patents on stuff. Who the hell knows? I don't know.
Can you imagine?
Unless they have the Queen's version of Monopoly out there somewhere, and it's
maybe that's it.
You know, you never know.
She gets 0.0003 cents for every chessboard sold with a queen attached to it.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take a piece of that. That's nice. That's a good chunk of money.
All kidding aside, this woman was born into royalty, has lived into royalty all her entire life, will die a royal. There is no private money for this person. None. Yeah, so I get what they're saying. Like, oh, it's not like they took, the taxpayers. It's not like they took the people from,
they're not going to raise taxes, I think is the point here. They're not going to, it's not going to cost the taxpayers any extra, I think is the point.
That's a weak. Who gives a shit?
I don't know what to tell you.
None of that money. And the sad thing is that I guess he too, you can argue none of his money has ever come from anything private. But I think, he bought those. Yeah, I don't know. It's the taxpayers are paying for this either way.
I'm sure they have investments and things. I got to imagine they're pulling in outside money from somewhere.
Yeah, probably. But all of their money is connected to being the royal family.
Yeah, but I think the point is it's coming from the money they already have. I think that's the point.
This is like if I paid for something out of stock that I sold, it's like, well, how did I get that money? Well, the podcast, the sponsors, the commercial, that's where it came from. Like, how could you argue? And like, oh, that wasn't podcast money. That was my money. Well, where the fuck do I get my money from? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Touche.
Word of the day, folks, is douche.
I like douchey.
That's what she said.
So that's that part of it. Now they're calling for Prince Andrew to lose his title, Duke of York. I can't agree with this more.
Yeah, why not?
He lost his military status. She stripped him of all that, all his duties. Yet they are still referring to him as the Duke of York because technically he is the Duke of York. Should strip him of that shit too.
I mean, I probably should. I mean, that's if he wasn't found guilty, they settled, right? I mean, can they legally take his? I mean, she could do whatever the hell she wants. I guess
she can do whatever she wants. I don't think it's about legal or procedure. It's more about public pressure and making it appear.
Take it away. Why not?
Right? I mean, make it appear that you're at least doing the right thing. What they're talking about, I mean, this Jubilee thing, they have this huge concert coming up. They're hoping that with this being settled, that none of that will come up. But my hope is that there are strong enough members of the media that are going to be covering these things that are going to be there to ask these questions no matter what.
Oh, I'm sure that there has to be. I mean, imagine
I don't know, because they have to be credentialed to go to these events. And if somebody's going to be an asshole, they're probably not going to get credentialed.
I guess.
But I feel like in every single press conference, until he is totally excommunicated from this royal family, they should be like, hey, that pedophile you're housing? What's going on with him? How's that working out?
What's up with that? I want to see that ceremony where they rip the stuff off the uniform. That's what I want to see.
Like when Seinfeld loses his postal employee patch?
This is your jacket. That's what I want to see. I want to see all the metal, whatever the hell they have, adorning their outfit, and just whoosh, you're out.
That'll be nice.
And then they catapult them somewhere.
He should be, or what do they call that when you drop down trapdoor?
Trapdoor, like a Mr. Burns style.
He should be catapulted or trapdoored out of the royal family. That should be our thing.
I'm in.
We got to get something out of this. I mean, especially the people of this country. You're paying for this pedophile. I mean, you've got to be pissed beyond belief.
Yeah, because moving forward, you're going to be paying taxes that go to the royal family, and I'm sure he's going to get some of that.
Right. Imagine if here in America, our tax dollars were going to support somebody that was with somebody as shitty as Jeffrey Epstein, say 26 or 27 times. We would be upset, wouldn't we? Before we get to what Prince Andrew is restricted from saying as part of this agreement, let's talk about Jumpstart Coffee Company, proud sponsor of the episode. I'm seeing the orders go through. People are buying Jumpstart Coffee Company like crazy. It's great coffee. It's a great cause. It looks great next to Frank's face. Let's be honest.
I just realized this bag is just about as tall as my head. So get one Frank's head full of coffee.
So let me just tell people that is a great value because that's a lot of coffee is what that means.
A lot. You're getting a good deal here.
And you get 15% off when you use the promo code AOA15 when you order with the link in the description of this episode.
That's not a one-time code either. Use it as many times as you want.
Use it and abuse it, baby.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That is what she said. And, of course, it supports the troops. How, Aunt, you may ask? Well, because 50% of their profits go to the Navy SEAL Foundation.
That it does.
And the Navy SEALs are getting it done for us, and then they come back here, and they don't have everything that they need. So great companies like Jumpstart Coffee Company are trying to support them. So if you support them, they'll support them, and then we'll support them, and then you're supporting us, and thanks for the support. I support this statement.
Deshay.
15% off, promo code AOA15. Click the link in the description of this episode. So again, Frankie C, we're starting to get some more information on what the agreement is between the two of them. And the latest thing, and this comes from the Telegraph, they had this story. The latest report is that Prince Andrew has agreed not to repeat his denial that he did what he did to Virginia Giuffre under the terms of the confidential settlement.
So he can't deny it. But what?
Supposedly.
So if someone asks him straight out, did you do this? He can't say no.
That would be the quandary, would it not? Because what if somebody does ask him? And what if he does say I didn't do it? What then? Does he have to pay more? Is the settlement broken?
Yeah, what's the penalty for that?
Mm-hmm.
And what does he have to say?
I don't know.
No comment, I guess.
I guess no comment. A clause prevents the Duke from repeating his claim that he does not recall meeting Miss Giuffre. She, on the other hand, is supposedly free to speak publicly under the terms of the agreement reached this weekend. And I guess that includes writing a book or, doing whatever she needs to do.
She should be allowed to do whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah.
That should be the agreement.
But this is an interesting thing that I'm sorry, go ahead. No, God, you were going to finish saying.
I was just saying she should be able to do anything she wants, and he should have all these restrictions. That's the agreement. Anything less than that, of course, the money has to go change hands. But anything less than those things, then it's not worth it
for her to make the deal.
I'm sure it's, but she shouldn't have any restrictions whatsoever. She should be allowed. She's the victim here. To be restricted in any way doesn't make any sense.
But I guess the game becomes he literally has to be away from any sort of public life, paparazzi, whatever, because, I mean, the game becomes just shout this question at him all the time. Put him in a position where he might have that moment of, forget and be like, no, it never happened. You know what I'm saying? Because God knows what that's going to cost him.
Yeah, I don't know what the penalties are for breaching. I guess he could be sued for breach of contract or something. I guess that would be the penalty.
You would think at the least, without knowing what the settlement really says, you would think a breach of contract would be basically what would happen there.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think you can ever be caught in public life, because here's the thing. I think he is dumb enough. I think if he gets peppered with questions about this every time he's caught out by somebody who asks questions like this, like paparazzi or reporters or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to slip at some point. I don't think he can go in the next 10, 20 years without not getting mad at some point, getting caught off guard and being like,
Yeah.
being like I didn't do it. I don't,
Right. You would think. I mean, they would have to just keep at it.
keep hitting him. Because here's my other point. Here's my other thought on this. I think this was done. I think this decision to settle did not come from him. And I think that's fairly obvious because when you look at it, he was adamant. Even though they told him, everybody told him, the royal family, advisors, lawyers, like, you're crazy. You're not going to win this. And you're going to drag it out and you're going to drag the queen's name through in her Jubilee celebration year. And this is nuts.
So that's where the settlement came from.
I think at some point they put him down and were like, you're settling. Like, that enough is enough. Stop what you're doing. You no longer can talk to the media. You no longer, because remember when he put out that last huge thing and it was like 41 pages of just utter garbage and just denials with no support and all that trash. I think that they were like, I think that was the last straw when they were like,
enough's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's good then. I mean,
because his livelihood comes from them now. Like, his brother is going to determine how much he's going to be able to live off of for the rest of his life. Where the hell else is he going to get money from? I don't think he's going to move to America and get a Netflix deal like other people do.
Probably not. But I feel like he'll probably, I mean, does he have his own stash, his own déchet?
Yeah, well, supposedly he had that chalet that he sold, but I think that went to go, fund some other legal issues he was having and money issues he was having. Right. Plus he's got that teddy bear collection he's got to pay off.
It might be worth something. Maybe he sells that.
That would be something else. I'd buy that. I'll tell you what.
I would not buy that.
I'd buy it and hang it on your coat rack. I'd be like, that's the Prince Andrew teddy bear right there.
I don't want anything to do with those teddy bears.
We get a lot of publicity off of that.
Maybe.
Allison Golis, the CNN executive who had an affair with the CEO Zucker there, she finally resigns today after Jeff Zucker. What did he resign? Like a week or two ago? 3 weeks ago,
that sounds
maybe?
Right. Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he was banging this Allison Golis for just years. Moved her into the apartment building where his wife lived.
That is some bull crap.
She was married. He was married. And then they were like, oh, no, we got together over COVID, during COVID, which was a lie. Everybody kind of knows that was a lie. And then he goes and resigns because basically his whole point of firing Chris Cuomo was like, well, you acted inappropriately with coworkers. You got to go. And then for him to be, slamming the head of marketing or PR, whatever she was doing, I think she was the head of PR, kind of contradictory. You can lose a lawsuit over that. Like if Chris Cuomo were to sue, which he's doing. So that's why Zucker resigned. And then this Allison went out and was like, hey, we're just gonna full steam ahead and move forward. And people were like, well, you're just as guilty. You should be gone too. So it took 2 weeks and now she's gone.
Is she just as guilty?
Yeah, I would say so.
Because doesn't it go the other, like the higher up is the most is to blame for the conflict of interest, the abuse of power kind of thing?
I mean, traditionally, but I think the thing with this is, first of all, strike against her because she's in the PR department.
Yeah, all right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody screws up, PR is the ones who cover it up. Now, if you're covering up your own screw up, not a great thing.
Hey, who better to cover up a screw up than the PR department?
Yeah. And then the second thing here is I think there's just an overall theme where you can't be an executive in a high power position and act like you're doing something wrong.
Right. She wouldn't be able to sleep with anybody under, like I thought that's how it went. Like you can't sleep with anybody below you in the
right.
hierarchy.
Well, although that is certainly worse, either way, if you enter into a relationship with a coworker, you have to disclose it, and they didn't.
Okay. All right. So she's out.
So that's basically it. And again,
you're out.
Yeah,
it's not catapult worthy, but she's out.
Good point. I would say it's not catapult worthy.
Or trapdoor.
Or ripping off of a logo.
You just boot Boot to the behind on the way out.
Yeah.
That's all.
You go to the penalty box for 2 minutes and you feel shame. That
feel
kind of
shame.
a thing.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chris Cuomo is doubling down on his I didn't do anything wrong. He's got a couple of, I think, allegations against him. But the one he's referring to today that was making headlines was one that happened at ABC. He says they are false. He said the woman that he was is being accused by, they had a friendly dynamic and nothing inappropriate happened.
What is she claiming?
Well, that she was assaulted.
Okay.
And he was saying that it was a friendly dynamic. Remember when the brother was like, it was all a friendly dynamic?
Yeah, they seem to cling to that phrase.
Yeah. It was just friendly. I kissed my mother like that, you know?
Oh.
Here's a picture of my mother. You remember that?
Super sad. Right.
It's so weird. You go through things and you're like, oh, this is bad. But then when you look back at them, even like just 2 or 3 months later, you're like, why did he think that was a good idea?
I don't know.
To fire off a 14-minute montage video of like, hey, I kind of inappropriately touched my mom that way, you know? So weird.
Well, I mean, you could kiss your mom on the cheek, fine, but you can't go around kissing coworkers.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, so, he's saying that he was improperly fired by CNN. He is demanding an apology from Jeff Zucker.
You know what he should do is start his own social media network.
That would be great. That would be lovely. That would be really, really lovely.
So, all right. So he claims nothing happened, but there's lawsuits coming, and he's getting all right.
Well, that's why Zucker resigned. Not because he felt morally like he did something wrong. He's just trying to save CNN. CNN basically told him, "Hey, you're here. We're employing you after you embarrassed this company and you're banging a coworker and you fired this guy for doing something wrong with a coworker. We can't have it. We're going to lose the case.
Right.
They're going to get demolished and have to pay Chris Cuomo a shit ton of money.
Yeah, no good.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, he did something wrong. You got to pay for it. That's the deal. And this Chris Cuomo, I don't know. It's not going away.
Unless you can get your mom to pay for it.
Only if you kiss her inappropriately. Come here, Mom.
And get your mom to pay for it out of her douchey estate. Then we're really, then we're cooking.
Douche.
Touche. Anthony Weiner is getting he got a radio show. He was on this past weekend. I didn't listen. Did you listen?
No.
So basically, just like the rest of the world, nobody really listened.
Couldn't tell you where to find it either. I don't know.
77 WABC actually.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Look at you.
So you know what I heard about this radio station? Let's go inside radio for a second. WABC, legendary station in New York. Legendary. Was known for playing oldies music for a long time. And then eventually, went into all talk station. There's very few. There's WOR, there's WABC. There's not a lot of talk stations left, but a lot of them have been relegated to the AM thing. I heard, and I don't want to say who it was, but a prominent radio personality in New York, they wanted to give them a show.
Okay.
On WABC. And there wasn't even a monetary offer. They wanted this person to pay for his own airtime and sell his own airtime.
What?
Which is like something that like amateur radio people do. Like every market, if you live somewhere and a lawyer and a car dealer has their own radio show and
they're paying to be on the radio.
They're paying to be on the radio. Yeah. Right. That's called broker station. There's a lot of those left.
Right.
But not in New York City.
Yeah, that's hard to find.
And
I mean, you might find someone coming in on like a Sunday morning to do something like that.
Maybe. Yeah, they get that 5:30 a.m. spot
when like 0 people are listening.
Yeah.
Then you could hide those. The non-talent goes right in that spot.
Right. This was a station that employed a lot of people, and I just heard that. I go, I knew the business was bad, but that is really bad.
When the talent now has to pay to be on it, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, because the thing, like, supposedly, as the story goes, the offer came across and it was like, you know, we might have a slot for you. And it's like, oh, and then they were talking things, and then money came up, and it was like, oh, 50 G's. And the person was like, well, I was making millions on the air in New York. 50 is certainly not great. But maybe I'll take it to get back on the air and, kick up the career again. And they were like, oh, no, no, no. Like, that's what we would want. And then you can sell your own sponsorships and stuff. I was like, holy shit. That's
So I have
wildly
to
insulting.
pay you plus get my own sponsorships to
Right.
pay me. No, that's not how that works.
It's wildly insulting.
That's ridiculous.
And even more so insulting in the era that we live in, where you can just do this without, a radio station and be far more successful at doing it.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay to do this.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and get a podcast and pay nobody $50,000.
No one.
Put that 50 G's in your pocket and still sell your own sponsorships.
Yeah.
Where am I living? Where do the radio people live, Frank? Where?
They live on a different planet. And
what year
working
is it?
in radio, that it's a different. It's a weird atmosphere. Every they operate on their own terms, their own. It's a different planet when you work in a radio station. There's different rules. The outside world doesn't seem to exist.
I mean, for real.
I imagine this person, whomever it is, turned it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't take it.
Good for them.
I'll tell you who it was after. I don't feel the need to spread their name all around, but I mean, it's probably a public knowledge story at this point. But I heard.
I'm pretty sure I can guess, but all right.
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
So anyway, Anthony Weiner now and Curtis Lewa famously, who lost to Eric Adams in the mayoral election.
That he did.
So now they're doing a show. So now they go on Hannity to promote it. And again, the first thought I had was like, if I really had any sort of dedication, I would call this guy every week and be like, hey, remember when you were, sending dick pics to kids? Like, you want to comment on that? Like, that's what I would do. Similar to Prince Andrew. I would just call this guy every single week and ask him the same thing.
But Hannity's not going to do that. Is he going to do that?
Well, no, Hannity's not going to do that. But basically, Hannity was like, hey, how would you handle something like that? Here's the clip. Let's play it for you.
The first question that I have is, you pled guilty, Anthony, to sending obscene materials to a young girl, a 15-year-old girl. You pled guilty. You served jail time. Have you changed? Are you a different person?
Well, I think so. I don't think anyone can go.
What would you say to that, Frank? Would you be like,
No, I'm the same. I'm the same slimy piece of shit. Like, what do you? Yeah, I've changed. That's what happens. You know.
Yeah. How did he
Of
blow
course,
that?
I've changed. Yeah, that's a softball. That is a meatball of a question.
That's on page 2 of the Scumbag Apology Handbook. Just say you've changed. Say you've
learned, changed, grown, whatever the hell you want to say.
Yeah.
You're not the same person that did all that shitty stuff. Is the bottom line.
You piece of garbage.
Well, it depends.
I think so.
I mean, who's asking?
Fucking guy.
That kind of experience, and I think this is probably true of people who have been through other types of adversity. I don't think you go through that type of experience and don't emerge changed.
Well, wait, but Anthony, wait a minute.
So
that's
I think it's fairly
Anthony,
obvious.
That's an obscure answer. I think so. Either you know in your heart if you changed, or you know in your heart if you didn't change. Can you assure people, because you're going to now try and draw in an audience, and they're going to want to know if you changed or not. Have you changed?
They can judge for themselves.
I'm sorry?
I said they can judge for themselves. I'm not out to persuade you or anyone else that I've changed. I mean, I'm doing a radio show, and people can call in and ask me questions. We did one this past Saturday where people had an opportunity to call in, and where Curtis asked me a bunch of questions, and I answered the best I can. But in terms of, like, I'm trying to draw someone in, no, I'm not trying to make someone like me or someone be persuaded of any particular outlook on me. We're going to have some conversations about things going on in New York City and other places, and hopefully people will tune into the show, but I'm not terribly interested in trying to make them feel any differently about me.
I have a question about New York City. Where in New York City were you when you were sending dick pics to 15-year-old girls?
Yeah, that should be every single question.
Yeah.
Should be wrapped around that whole thing. Now, I'm sorry, but the people who are trying to promote this bullshit show got to be fucking kicking themselves. And like, I got to promote this guy who's saying he doesn't care if people like him,
Yeah.
if people think he's a piece of shit.
Or want to come and listen to him. I would be like, oh, no, you're on
you want them to listen to you. You want them to like you.
It's your job is to build people, to build an audience. That's your job.
You want people to to listen, tune in. You giant idiot.
We got to get tape of this show. This is the worst idea ever. I mean, my only guess is that I bet you they're literally paying for it. I don't know if they're. And here's the other thing too. Curtis Sliwa, I don't think he does anymore, but he did the mornings on that station for years. It was Curtis and Kubi, and then it was Curtis and
that's right. Yeah.
Some other schmuck. But I don't think I don't know. I'm not in tune like I used to be with who's on that station, but I don't think they do mornings anymore there.
I'm surprised. I mean, I guess not. I was gonna say I'm surprised Sliwa was like, yeah, I'll do a show with Anthony Weiner.
By the way, I just went to the website, and take a look at who's the first guy up on the page there.
Oh, come on. Give me a break.
Bill O'Reilly.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a squeaky clean. We've forgiven Bill O'Reilly. He's like $60 million in allegation payoffs. That's good.
Yeah, and they paid him to go to when he was canned from Bullshit Network. They paid him like $25 million to go away.
I think it was more than that.
Whatever it was, just to disappear. To be.
That's right. It's Bernie and Sid in the morning. Sid is a sports talk guy for years.
All right.
And then Bernie was the producer for Imus. So this was Imus's spot.
Yeah,
that's
mornings,
right.
Sure.
After he left, after the comment there, like the Rutgers comment, he got fired by the fan and went to ABC. That's right.
Sure did, and then died.
And then he died. Yeah, he recently died. That was what, a year ago or so.
I feel like it was more than. I feel like it was pre-COVID.
They got Bernie and Sid, Brian Kilmeade, who's a Fox syndication, Charlie Kirk, Greg Kelly, who's on Newsmax, I think. Yeah, Greg Kelly.
Man.
Bill O'Reilly, Mark Levin. Levin at 1 or 2 out of 100 gets something right.
That was for O'Reilly.
Oh, okay. They got Rudy Giuliani's name on here. What is he doing?
What the fuck? Man.
It's like the scourge of the universe.
You want to listen to horse shit from assholes.
Giuliani does an hour on the station, weekdays, 3 to 4.
You know how much I'd bring my own mic in for that one? You got hair dye dripping all over it. Not good.
I'm going to try and get through this next topic without going to the Trump face, but Trump is starting his social media network, Truth Social.
It's only like a year behind schedule, but that's okay. And Truth Social, unless he's going for an ironic title, then it's a kind of a misnomer. But okay. So it's going to be him. I'm sure Fox News will be on there.
Well, yeah. Well, we're going to be on there, buddy.
I don't want to be on. Don't put us on there.
Anywhere there's a chance to pick up some audience.
No. I don't want to be on there. Come on.
We're going.
Come on. We're better than that.
Sign me up for at Anthony on Air if you're a Truth Social
Come
person.
on. Are you serious?
Yeah, we're on all the fucking things. We're still on MySpace.
That's fine. MySpace isn't a douche. Fucking
got 4 listeners, all from Albuquerque, coincidentally. I don't know what.
The one thing I miss about MySpace is when you went to your page, it played a song. Whatever song you wanted. When you go to anybody's page, it played there. The popular song that you could pick from a list.
You mean you didn't like the sparkly things?
Sparkly things were fun too. Then you had your top 5 friends.
I remember that.
What the hell? Why did that not do as well as? Why did that disappear?
That because it sucked balls. That was like the speed dial position in the Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But
the
I like
announce. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say the announcement was made by Donald Trump Jr. on Twitter,
Twitter.
where he screen capped President Trump's first Truth Social. This was Donald Trump's first post on Truth Social, and it says, "Get ready, your favorite president will see you soon."
Lincoln? Or, I mean...
If you remember, he was just as good as Lincoln.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So I see it says time for some truth. Truth being capitalized. Does that mean he's gonna have like a guy named Truth on there, or is that what does that mean?
All right. Can I just tell you a couple of early observations on this? Let me see here. Can I? There's definitely more.
Capitalizing the word "ready"? Is that
No.
okay?
But that's a good point. It was a little snooty by you, but that's okay.
Hey, I think me being a little snooty is fine compared to this dipshit.
All right. A couple of things I noticed. One, the verification check mark is red on this,
Right.
which I do love. We're gonna make it red.
Because Republicans, Twitter could be blue for the Democrats.
It's gonna be red. Here's what really bothers me. When you're on Twitter, when you can't get your own name, you do things like @real Donald Trump. He's starting his own social media network, and he went with @real Donald Trump. Why wouldn't you just take @Donald Trump?
Because he's an idiot. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to explain that to you.
But why? Again, there's got to be somebody in the room that goes, wait a second, you're never allowed back on Twitter. What's the point? Just go with @Donald Trump. How about this? You could be @President. You know what I'm saying? You could be @President Trump. Why did he go with @real Donald Trump?
Maybe
it doesn't make any sense to me.
My only guess would be that whoever followed him on Twitter, there's got to be some kind of like you could invite because it's the same name. Maybe there's some kind of connection.
No, he lost his account. He can't invite anybody.
It's
from
there though. It's account. The account is there, so people know him as real Donald Trump. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of this moron's bullshit. So.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you're starting your own social media network, you should be allowed to pick the exact name that you want. Why would you pick @real Donald Trump?
I know. And plus, I think the check mark should be orange. If we're being honest.
Well, that was a little hack, but I'll give it to you.
Come on.
I'll allow it.
I like how he only has 49 likes.
Well,
I know that's not up and running yet, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, and he has 175 followers, which I kind of feel like, what's the story there? Because it's in beta,
People working on it, I'm sure.
I know. It just feels like that's like a super low amount. Like it's in beta. Like just give him 10,000.
I know.
I'm gonna see. Oh wait, hold on. I'll see.
Get ready, your favorite president will see you soon. Which is a creepy message by itself. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, I also like. Here's the interesting thing about your old pal Ant. I have more of a problem with Donald Trump Jr. than I have with Donald Trump.
Yeah, they're both pieces of shit.
I know you feel that way, but I just feel like Trump Jr. is such a photocopy awful asshole. Like he's just so like come up with your own shtick. He's doing
his shtick is going live on Instagram or Twitter filled with coke. That's his shtick.
That's not a bad shtick. That's what Twitter was made for.
Everybody's got their thing. That he's cornered that market.
By the way, Twitter would be so much better if more people were like that than people being like, I have an opinion. Let me tell you what's right and what's wrong.
I can't disagree with you on that.
I've signed up to get the notifications for when Truth Social is available to me.
Also, I like that it's time for some truth. Not all of it's going to be the truth. Some of it.
Thank you all for the pre-order support. The truth is coming. Follow the truth.
Yeah, okay.
It's interesting.
The election was stolen. Come on.
Can you give him credit for not naming it Trump? Because I was actually going to say that was a stupid move. He should have named it Trump.
No, because you put your name on something.
He puts his name on everything. That was his
But
shtick. Remember that? We all
I
loved
think,
him back when he did that.
yeah, but 9 out of 10, it's probably going to fail. Just like, Trump Steaks, Trump University, Trump, the board game, a dozen other things I can't really name.
So when I saw this, I was like, oh,
Casino.
I was like, oh, they. So when I went to the first tweet, you know how the Twitter like suggests like a profiles like underneath,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, Truth Social, they're on a thing, but it turns I read the description. It says Twitter, but for racists and domestic terrorists, and then I
There it
realized
is.
it's a parody account.
Yep.
By the way, this parody up here wasn't in this profile when I looked at it earlier today. And I don't know when this, wait, doesn't it tell you when they've joined? This already has 25,000. Joined October 2021, already has 25,000 followers.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
What are they going to call, like it can't be tweets.
Truth? Truth bombs?
Truth
I think
bombs?
it's called truth bombs.
Yeah. Or, I don't know. Bullshit. We got another, I don't know. Come up with something with that. Cow pies?
Let's be honest. Let's see if we can get you to try and talk honestly here.
I always do.
Well,
Tell me when I haven't.
where did you go? Hold on a second. I want to make us bigger. No. Okay.
That's what she said.
Boy, tell me about it.
I'm just trying to fill in for Janine, who's not feeling well today.
Yeah. Do you think this could be successful for him?
I think it'll be. I don't know. It could be. He'll have his people on it for sure, and he'll have the people who want to see what kind of bullshit he's spreading. Like when he was on Twitter, he was successful on that up until he became a giant asshole. Well, I mean, he was always a giant. Up until he got kicked off of it, he was successful. So this is just going to be the same thing. It's just going to be another social network thing that people are going to have on their phone.
I didn't think this was going to be successful. I'm starting to change my mind a little bit about it. And I'm wondering because he was a lot more accessible when he can just fire off a tweet.
Yeah.
It caught fire. Right. People wanted to repeat it, retweet it, do all this stuff. He's still doing the same thing now with these like statements. Like he'll put out a statement every now and then. Actually, he puts it out all the time, but only every now and then do we actually see it.
Yeah.
Like the last one, the last one that I saw was him blasting Joe Rogan for apologizing. He was like, "You shouldn't be apologizing to the liberal media." And I was like, I don't know if he was apologizing to the liberal media as much as he was apologizing to, I don't know, his black fans that might be pissed off.
Yeah, what a real leader we got there.
Yeah, I don't think that Joe Rogan gives a shit about the liberal media. The guy's made a career out of not giving a fuck out of the liberal media. I don't see him doing that. Yeah. I think he was apologizing to people that like him that he may have hurt. That's really it.
Agreed. Because that's what people do when they hurt people. They apologize.
Right.
I think in the 5 years that he was in political whatever the hell, he apologized once, and it was like at gunpoint. It was like on TV. That was me for the Access Hollywood thing. But then he was like, I don't even. Then like 2 days later, it was like, I don't even think that's me on there. My voice. I don't think that's my voice.
I love how Billy Bush took the brunt of that.
Oh, his career just fucking tanked, and his career tanked, and the guy who actually said it became president. It's fucking unbelievable. That's the weirdest, stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not mad at it. We needed to get rid of Billy Bush. I think no matter what you think about the Trump presidency, there was more harm in having Billy Bush around.
Is that the truth? That should be the first truth bomb.
That's it right there. That's my truth bomb. But yeah, I think I'm really gonna follow this because I'm interested to see.
You know what? Follow along all you want. Please don't put us on there.
No, but I'm saying I think this can go one of two ways. Obviously, he starts tweeting from this Truth Social, and just like his statements, people just don't give enough of a shit because it's hard. I'm on Twitter. I'm not going on anything. We've talked about this a billion times. There are people that listen to this show on Apple Podcast, and then they write in and they go, I couldn't see what you were talking about. And I go on YouTube or Facebook. "No, I don't like that. I listen to you on Apple." Like they just refuse
Yeah, they have their things.
alter their shit. People that are like, oh, there's too many
He'll get
ads.
his people. He'll get the people who like him.
Yeah.
They'll go on this thing.
But I'm saying, like, the people, like, I'll get a complaint. They're like, oh, there's too many ads on YouTube. So I go, well, go on Facebook. There's not as many ads. There's less ads on Facebook. And they're like, I don't want to do that. I'm on YouTube. All right.
Like, well, then what do you want me to tell you?
So I think that he has that going against him. I do see another way that it could go where he starts putting out stuff on this and people start grabbing it and putting it out on Twitter. And he's got a very similar reach to what he's got before. Because if I was this app, I'll tell you the only way this app succeeds, it's not only by bringing in a heavy hitter like Trump or any other influencers like Hannity or Candace Owens or all these other flunkies that are going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
It's if they have the ability to share this shit on the established social media networks.
Yeah, but if you could just see it on Twitter, then what's the big,
But you have to be able to easily see it on Twitter. Not just a screen grab, because a lot of people aren't going to do that. You have to be able to hit. Here's the beauty of TikTok.
Well, is that allowed?
Well, I don't know. You know what's interesting? And not a lot of people talk about this. TikTok grew because people were able to share it to their Instagram almost instantly. And that's how it grew.
Oh, what I'm saying is, since Trump is banned from Twitter, can his comments be put up on Twitter through this other app?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
This one was fun. This one wasn't taken down.
No, but it's a screen grab, so it's hard for YouTube to Twitter to catch it. Yeah.
But it's Donald Trump Jr. It's pretty easy.
But I feel like for a while there, weren't the people who were taking Trump's statements and putting them on, weren't they getting?
Yeah, they didn't want his voice on Twitter.
Right.
He was banned. So any of his statements were banned from Twitter.
So
I don't know how this is going to connect to Twitter at all.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to do that. But like I said, the ease of, again, going just on some of my social media knowledge, the ease of TikTok to be relevant and seen on Instagram was massive for them. And then when Instagram tried to fight TikTok with Reels, TikTok was like, all right, I'll just share our TikToks on your thing too. And it'll have our little watermark and everybody will come over to TikTok eventually anyway. And that's kind of what happened. So I don't know. I don't know why Instagram allowed that to happen. I don't know if they had a way to block. I would think that they had a way to block it and they just didn't. I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to see what the sharing methods of this social media network are. Because if it's not going to Facebook and Twitter, I don't think you're going to succeed.
That's the thing. That's why, Instagram, they want the network, all the social media networks to be able to mingle.
Yeah.
You want
because if you look at Getter and what was the other one? I forgot that we joined too. There's a bunch of the Palmer, Playa. I forget what it was. Something with a P. I'll find it. Anyway, who gives a shit about those places anymore? Like, like it was hot for a couple of months and then you realize it's just people screaming into their void. It's their own, they're preaching to their own people. Who cares?
Don't put us on this thing.
People like the fight. Oh, we'll be on there.
Ugh.
We're going to try and get you at Liberal Pussy too. I know how much you love that.
That's fine. I don't want to be on that thing. Tom
Brady trolls the Super Bowl parade for the LA Rams. All-time move from Brady on this one.
What did he do here?
There was it's a good-natured trolling. There was a picture of
they won. What the fuck?
Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when Brady got dragged out because he was all hammered? He was just shit-faced, hammered after they won the Super Bowl. So there's a picture of Matthew Stafford smoking a cigar the wrong way.
Yep. Oh, see, now that should be.
To which Tom Brady tweeted, "Mix in water, Matt. Trust me."
Oh boy. Yeah. All right. That's not a terrible.
No, I didn't say it was a bad one. It was a good troll.
Yeah,
but it was a troll nonetheless.
That's kind of. I mean, you think he's hammered or just doesn't know how to smoke a cigar?
I think both is embarrassing. To be honest with you, I hope he's shit-faced hammered because that's if you don't know which side of the cigar to light.
To be fair, the wrapper seemed to be by his mouth. I mean, maybe he just didn't cut it right.
I think yeah, well, that wrapper
It just
moves.
Oh, it slid the wrong way. It slid up
Yes, right. I think it slid on the wrong side, and he,
okay.
yeah.
Got
The
it.
worst day of my life was when I put a cigar in my mouth the wrong way.
But it was already lit.
Yeah, it was already lit. It was disgusting.
Yeah, because cigars are gross.
I used to when I was on LNG because it was on the water. It was beautiful. So I used to put on like 25-minute songs and just go outside and smoke a cigar. And one night I'm surprised they never complained because I would kind of walk in the studio and just the studio stunk of cigar smoke.
Ugh.
You know.
Oh, you're gross.
I never brought the cigar in the studio, but I felt like I stunk of it. So
Oh boy.
anyway, it was raining one time, so I had to come in and out, and I was putting the cigar down on this thing, and then when I came out, I picked it up and I put it back in my mouth, and it was the wrong.
Good.
It
You
was
did a Kramer.
I
You
did.
Kramered it.
It was the worst day of my life.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just you got a mouthful of ash.
yeah,
You burn your tongue.
yeah, a little bit. That's
what you get.
The next day, my aunt and uncle were murdered in a tragedy, and still, that was the cigar day was the worst day.
I'll bet.
It's the truth. We've got some new merch, Frank. Pretty
Do
hot
we?
too. Yeah, it's starting to fly off the shelves. I'm starting to get a little upset because the Viola stuff isn't selling
Oh,
as much as the Go Ahead and the My Phone's About to Die shirt, which seems to be a big one.
that is a good one. But the viola, I mean, you got to know the show. So you wear it around the people who know. So maybe you pick up the and if you wear it around Viola Davis, I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
I'd love to have Viola's whole family and team of people wearing the Viola shirt.
Oh man, see
It'd
that
be
would
nice.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Oh, you should put Viola's face on there," and I would if it wasn't for the fact that we'd be sued.
We'd be sued into oblivion.
Yes. Yeah.
We'd be gone like that.
Because I don't know if you know this, but Viola's lawyer is a lot more talented than the lawyer for the Anthony and Air podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know our lawyer. He's Vinny
Boombots?
Boombots Esquire.
Yeah, I hear good things.
Yeah. Well, he does okay, but
I'll tell you.
a little rough around the edges.
Right.
And of
merch,
course, you can get the J Sabs Stare shirt, which is quickly becoming quite popular with everybody.
Excellent. All those sizes too. Look at that. A lot of offered in many sizes. Full color like that.
Yeah, comes in full. It's our first colored shirt actually, because if you look at everything else that we sell,
All the
there's no
logo.
color.
Yeah. Well, there's some stuff that has like the rainbow effect on it.
That's right. We did do a line of the rainbow effect. That's true. You're right.
So we have those. Those are good.
Yeah.
You got the leggings there. You got a lot of good stuff. Look at
A
this.
lot of
The
good
tote
stuff on there.
bags. A lot of places are doing doing what's it called? Shopping bag bans. All the plastic bags and the grocery bags. So get yourself some tote bags.
Yeah, that's true. You can't have plastic bags anymore. It's anti-American.
Apparently.
Very much so.
It's anti-ocean and fish.
Mayor Eric Adams is calling the Kyrie Irving rule unfair. I actually learned something today. So Kyrie
First time
Irving,
for everything.
what?
First time for everything.
Kyrie Irving, am I breaking up? Because it looks like my signal's going in and out.
Every now and then you freeze, but you come back within like a second. But
Okay.
your voice stays.
The voice is
Just the
good. Okay.
video cuts a little bit.
That's all you need. It's the golden voice. You don't need to see this face. It's horrible.
That's
So Kyrie Irving refused to get vaccinated.
Mm.
And there was a law in the city that you couldn't play at the Barclays Center if you weren't vaccinated.
right.
I was incorrect about that. It actually is if you live in New York and play at the Barclays Center, you have to be vaccinated to play there. Supposedly, and I guess this has been happening all along because I don't know if a lot of teams have this, but players who are from another team, from another city, they could play. They could come into the arena and play if they're not vaccinated. I don't know how we got to this convoluted place where Kyrie Irving. So by the way, Kyrie Irving was playing away games for the Brooklyn Nets and not playing home games, which is a weird situation to be in. But it's even more weird and hypocritical when you find out that unvaccinated players are coming into the Barclays Center and playing, and this guy can't because he's on the
Very
team.
strange. But you know what it is? you can only control who you could what you control and who. So you can only control your own state, your own city.
Right, but this is a city law. This was a law. This was a this is a city law.
Yeah,
And that doesn't make any sense.
doesn't make sense.
So
It
they
does
asked
not.
Eric Adams about it today, and he's like, "Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's really unfair." He's like, "But I'm not going to do anything about
He said, "I'm not going to do anything about it."
it." Yeah, he said that it doesn't quite make sense, but caution that changing the rule might send the quote wrong message.
Maybe update the rule, or I mean, you don't have to change it to its exact opposite. Maybe improve on the rule a little bit.
How are you going to improve on the rule? Here's the problem.
I know the problem. Problem is if you say nobody can enter and play, if you have to be vaccinated, then you're not going to be able to have any teams play there.
No, I was going to say, here's the real problem.
Oh, real problem.
You don't need a rule like this anymore. It's flat out silly, but the politicians are having a hard time. They're having a hard time taking this defeat of you're just not going to get above 75 to 80% vaccinated. It's not going to happen. And they're having a hard time relenting that fact. And the fact that the numbers continue to go down to the basement just amplifies even more how ridiculous this all is. I know you don't want to hear that, but
No, listen. If the numbers are good, then I'm fine with relaxing a lot of the stuff.
the numbers are fantastic. You are, but I think people in general are having a hard time with it, and I think the politicians are having a hard time with it, and I think people are still living in fear that it's April of 2020, and it's just not anymore. It's February of 2022. We have rock bottom numbers, at least here in New York. I can't speak for other parts of the country, may be different in what's going on. But you lost. Kyrie Irving. I never thought I would say this because when Kyrie Irving refused to get vaccinated, same thing with what's his name. I was a little like, be a team player here. Be a little bit of a team player.
So what happened? He just waited it out, and all of a sudden, it's okay.
Well, he wasn't allowed to play, period. And then they were like, and then they started losing games, and they were like, we got to refigure this Kyrie Irving thing. And that's when they came up with the idea of, well, if he can't play in New York, if the Nets allow him back, then he could play the road games. And so that's what he was doing.
That is. Can you imagine, if we in high school? This is just high school. I know that, but if we had an earring in, we were like, you're benched. There was
It's a different time.
And it's also high school and nobody gave a shit. But yeah, when there's millions on the line, they're probably going to let them play.
I don't, it's a good point because I don't know how kids get along today. Because now I feel like if a school does that, kids will be like, I'm suing you for hurting my individuality. Like I have to express myself with my earring, and they'd fucking lose.
To be fair, when one of the coaches told me to take the earring out, I go, yeah, sure. Take it out and put it right back in.
Did you?
They had no idea. I had my helmet on.
Fucking rebel, yeah. But Frank and I went to a high school where you had to have a tie on and up all the way. And not just in high school, but there would be people that were roaming around like checking out the trains and buses on our way home. And if they caught you with a tie down, you'd get in trouble for it.
Damn right.
And it was like, why? Well, because you represent the school. And honestly, I feel like that kind of shit made us better. I mean, not great people, but better people that we would have been.
People. But I feel like it helps, and I feel like you got rules. I'm all for rules when they help better, us as a society.
Now these kids are like, oh, I have to express my individuality, and and then you're like, then these.
Well, it's different. Let's see. Now we went to a school where you had to wear a uniform and all that stuff. If you're wearing a uniform and there's a dress code, that's different. But if you're at, there are a lot of schools that you go to school wearing basically whatever you want.
People fight dress codes at schools. That's how crazy things are.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So anyway, now we're at the point where he's like, yeah, this is really unfair. Well, are you going to do something about it? No.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, it's like just fucking just be like, you know what? He won. He stuck to his guns. He didn't want to get the vaccine. Everybody else did. And now we're at the point where doesn't really matter either way, does it?
See, isn't that sort of a stupid thing though? Like, he was wrong in the beginning, right? And then all he did was wait. He didn't really do anything. He didn't change anything. Nothing changed except time. And now all of a sudden he's not wrong anymore.
Crazy,
Still was
isn't it?
wrong. He still was wrong for the whole thing.
Well, if he gets it and he dies, it's on him. That's his problem. But other than that, it's not really. Again, barring he
I just
has
wish
some
you
sort
weren't
of
an anti-vaxxer. That's all I wish.
barring. I wait until I get on this Truth Social. I could be myself amongst my fellow Trumpians.
What a
But barring a medical
dumpster
issue,
fire that is. God.
barring a medical issue, I feel like gotta support the team. Gotta be a part of the team. Aaron Rodgers too.
It's all about money. It's got to be all about money.
Or whatever. Like, and I could already foresee people be like, well, Janine's not vaccinated. What do you think? This is a different thing. Janine is in her own thing. This is a podcast.
We're miles and miles away from each
We're
other.
not trying to win a championship. I totally understand where she's coming from. It's fine. I'm not mad at that. But when you have a group of people trying to win a championship, I feel like, you guys all do things together. And again, unless he has a medical issue, he probably, I would, it's like any other time where some star steps out and says something and people are like, well, he's the star that, teammates don't like that shit. They won't go into the paint for you. They won't go into the corners in hockey for you when you act like you're fucking special and above the rest of the team in any instance.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can handle yourself off like that. Then you can handle yourself on the ice or on the court.
Right.
Yeah, go. You take care of it yourself.
Right. I mean, team's going to do something. They're going to all do it together. That's kind of the point of a team. Obviously, this guy felt like this was, what's the word I'm looking for? Different circumstances. Like this was more important than anything else. Well, okay. I just feel like, if I was on his team, I'd be like, just trade this fucking guy. We'll get somebody else to do it. We'll get somebody who wants to stick with us and
that should have been the move
and be a part of the team. Because like I said, this is like a guy on the team that doesn't want to take part in the dress code or, when they wear the shirts that say, why not us this year? And he's like, I'm not going to wear that shirt. Well, why have a person like that on your team?
Agreed. I agree.
But at this point, you're kind of like, this is dumb. This guy is sitting out of games. Unvaccinated players from other teams are coming in. The fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And you're the mayor. And he's like, oh, it would send the wrong message. You are not going to convince people who don't want to get this thing. At that time, you've had a year and a half. If it hasn't happened now, it's not happening for them.
I'd love to know what would convince them. Like, what is the magic?
Nothing. They're nothing.
There's no possible way.
They're not getting it. It's not happening.
Not now, not ever.
You can be like, I'll give you $500,000. People are gonna be like, man, I don't think so. They're not gonna.
I think there would be people that would do it.
You think people would take the money?
Absolutely.
It would be a They wouldn't be able to give. Do you think?
I overheard someone we know say, "I'm not getting it because I don't like being told what to do."
Right.
That's what I overheard this person say.
Janine.
No.
Oh.
No.
Pretty sure she said that though.
And
do you think?
I was like, that's the reason.
Do you think? I'm asking Cuddles. Do you think people would take the vaccine if they were paid? And what's the number that you think? Yeah, but they were giving out like $100 or $50 gift cards. And here's why you can't do the paid thing too. You start offering like $1,000 to people, then everybody who was vaccinated is going to be
like, "Where's my 1,000?"
looting in the streets. Yeah, I did the right thing, and I'm getting fucked. Who are we just talking to about that? Oh, I can't really say who, but somebody we know who is working remotely is vaccinated, and his coworker isn't. And they were like, "Hey, we want you to come back into the office." And he's like, "Oh, we're both coming in." And they were like, "No, just you." And he's like, "Well, why me?" He's like, "Well," they were like, "Well, because you're vaccinated." And he's like, why am I being penalized for doing the right thing? You want me to travel back into the city? And because that person didn't get it, he gets to stay home now? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's bullshit.
I agree with that. That's not cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what the thing is. Give it up.
Give it up. Just
it's over.
It's over.
It's over. That time has passed. Nobody's gonna.
So
By
we'll
the
just
way,
go about everything. So we'll go about everything
yes.
like nothing's wrong.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know how I know I'm right?
Hmm.
The consideration that what makes you vaccinated? 2 shots.
Yeah.
They won't make that 2 shots and the booster. Do you want to know why? Because then then that 75% vaccination rate will go down to like 30%.
Well, the booster, once you get the 2 shots, you're vaccinated. The booster is for later on when you need a little extra help.
And also nobody's getting that. So
I got that. You got that, didn't you? Are you going to get it?
well, it doesn't make sense for me now. I just had COVID. What the fuck am I gonna get a booster for?
I don't know. Can you get the booster after you get COVID?
Well, they originally they were like, you don't need. There's no reason to because you have antibodies. You know,
Okay.
you have to wait to get boosted. And now
But
all of a sudden,
you also have antibody body, so that's so,
a little too much of that, to be honest with you. You know?
so you might need the booster. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Mayor Adams. This is a great one from Mayor Adams too. We're gonna start to give this guy his own dedicated portion of the show.
It's the Mayor Adams segment. What the hell are we doing? What's going on now? Slams the press coverage for lack of diversity.
Yeah, because I'm going to whatchamacallit? I'm gonna paraphrase here, but he's basically saying white reporters are the problem. Actually, kind of sounds like you. Remember when you were like, "Hey, white guys are the problem"? He's
I didn't say
basically
white guys are the problem. I said I don't know what I said, but it wasn't white guys are the problem.
sounded like white guys are the problem.
No. What I said was white guys have fewer problems than in society when it comes to racism. That's what I said.
Mayor Eric Adams is basically saying that he's getting unfair coverage from the media and that the media is just filled with a bunch of white people. Here's I'll play this statement. Here's what he said.
I'm a black man, that's the mayor. But my story is being interpreted by people that don't look like me. We got to be honest about that. How many blacks are in the editorial boards? How many blacks are determining how these stories are being written? How many Asians? How many East Indians? How many South Asians? Everybody talks about my government being diversified. What's the diversification in the newsrooms? You're not writing stories for people who were arrested and beat by police officers. You're not writing stories from those who are dealing with high crime. Diversify your newsroom so I can look out and see people that look like me.
You ever wondered what?
I get the message about diversifying everywhere. Yes. But I think it's just a weird phrasing that to say it like that. I think, yeah, diversify the newsroom, 100%. Diversify every segment of the news industry, totally. With you on that. But to imply that this person's not writing fairly about you because he's not black is kind of weird. No?
I like when he was like, he's like, I look out and see there's too many white people in here. I like that. That's my favorite part. I wish he would have just said, there's just too many white people here.
I just walked out and just left. I'm uncomfortable. See ya.
This is a week after a video surfaced of him using the word cracker. He's like, there's just far too many white people in this room.
That's kind of funny. I like it. If he would have walked in and said that and just went, see you later. Until we diversify this room a little better, I'm going to be outside.
Yeah, basically.
Well, he kind of, I dig
he kind of said that later on, like, I'll stop taking questions. He kind of pulled the Trump where he was like, I'll stop taking questions, just come in here, read my shit, and fucking leave. That's basically what he said. He didn't curse, but that's what he said. He's like, I'll make my announcements and I'll go. I won't take questions anymore. He's literally he's playing Trump's hand. It's just the reverse. He's the black guy.
Yeah, it's just very
It is kind of. Here's the thing. It's weird. It's a smidge on the racist side, right?
Smidge.
Also, I can't imagine what the West Indian people must be thinking because they were like, "Wait, did he just fucking name East Indians and not us? We're right next door. What's the fucking?"
Did he not say West Indian?
He did not say West Indian. He went to
South
Asian,
Asian.
East Indian. Did he say South Asian?
South Asian, which I think is
Oh,
all
the North Asians must be pissed.
Hmm.
I would be if I were North
He
Asian.
said Asia.
Did he?
I don't know. I don't know how many. You have to say everybody when you.
I forget. But can I tell you the other thing that I love?
No.
Okay. People are going to say he's racist, and I can't argue against that. That's fine with me if you want to say that about the guy. I don't really know the guy all that well, too, so I'm not going to defend him or, cheer him on. But I will cheer him on in this aspect. A lot of this, like, oh, this guy's a racist and Joe Rogan's a racist, comes from these fucking editorial boards. And I would love to know what that diversity looks like in all of these things up and down, especially the Washington Post and the New York Times and our more liberal leaning, newspapers. I would love to know what those makeups look like.
There should be annual reports, diversity report.
And by the way,
every company.
He's not wrong in the fact that when you look at that room, because I saw a picture of the room, it was all white people, and, I don't know why that's happening. I don't know, I mean, if you're talking about racism, it's institutionalized racism because that's just,
It should be everything. I mean, we're a diverse country. We're diverse enough that there's so many different kinds of people that almost every company should have a diverse staff.
Right. But I mean, I know black reporters and I know they're in New York City. I don't know if they're on the City Hall beat. It sounds like they're not. But I mean, I would imagine that if you're a black reporter, you'd be like, what the fuck? I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah. But how many are there how many are there in your company?
I don't know, because again, I feel like when you look at it and you go, okay, well, we got to put a bunch of people out of work and give their jobs to other people. That's not going to help the situation.
No, I don't think you should have to fire people. But if jobs open up, you should consider, there should just be like a more inclusive net cast, just
right. Because that's what people don't get about these things. They want to punish the people. Like the people who actually have the jobs, wherein it's more like, well, it probably starts with the owners, and the owners are hiring this is the NFL black coach
exactly
issue all over again. White old crusty guys own these teams, and they want to work with people that are just like them.
So we need young, not crusty people owning more businesses and more corporations, and that's when you'll get the diversity, because the old white crusty people, they're stuck in their ridiculous ways from 50 years ago.
Here's the other credit I'll give this guy too. He's rolling the dice. He's going for it. He's pushing his chips all in the first. It's
That's
February.
True. It's been 20 minutes.
He's been here for 15 minutes, and he's already like, there's far too many white people in here. I mean, this is either going to go down as a catastrophic mayoral thing. I don't even know what you call it. Mayoralcy? What do you call it? Mayoring? Let's call it mayoring. This is going to be a catastrophic mayoring. Or he's going to be like, hey, that was the guy who fucking turned shit all around. Remember when he called white people? He said there was too many of them. And, then all the shit changed for the better.
Duque.
Okay, my wife just brought up a great point. At least he's not, who's the guy? What's his name? At least he's not de Blasio.
Yeah, de Blasio sucked.
Like, that's what's amazing. They're like, oh, that black racist guy we got? At least he's not de Blasio, because that guy fucking sucked. They were
Yeah.
like, well, he wasn't racist though. What was wrong with him? I don't know. It was his face. He never showed up on time to shit. We just can't stand that
He was
guy.
just a general asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy's
guy,
a specific asshole.
This guy has had a cracker racial slur video released and looked at a room of reporters and was like, it's too white in here. And people are still like, just as long as we don't have de Blasio, it's fine.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Oh boy.
But we're gonna find out if people care. I mean, this legit like just happened. You know, this really just happened.
What's amazing is that, just like any other job, well, unlike any other job, there's no performance review. There's no, well, we've had enough of you, so you're gone. We're bringing in someone else.
Yeah,
This guy can't be fired for what? How long are you mayor? 6 years? 4 years?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
So, why did I say 6? What's 6 years?
Senators.
So yeah, so 4 years he's got this job, almost no matter what.
Yeah. And the thing is he being racist here, or is he just calling out?
Yeah, exactly. It's the
The
lack
truth.
of diversity. I think that he could have.
Like, do you think that? Let's do some real talk. I don't know the answer to this. I don't even know if you know the answer to this.
I know
Like,
everything.
Do you think that his unfair? Bring it on. I got it.
Let's go.
Do you think that he got? And by the way, this is after, again, this is another thing I give him credit for. He got unfair coverage on one story. One. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's February. Like, I get like Trump having an issue with this like 3.5 years in. Okay, there was a lot of animosity built up on both sides there. He's 46 days into this job, and he's already taken on the media, and not just like, hey, you guys should be answering questions. Like, hey, your institution is racist as fuck. Here's 17 different companies, and there's no black people. Like, what's your industry's problem?
It's valid. It's a legitimate question. There should be. This is chapter 15 in my book. We should have question day, but reversed, so that we ask the press questions.
Statement day?
No.
Oh.
Question day. We reverse it so that the press gets asked all the questions. Like, we interview the press.
Oh.
So,
Are
like,
you white?
Hannity.
I have a question. Are you white?
Am I white? I think so.
No, I'm just saying that would be Eric Adams. Like, here's a
Oh.
question. Where are all the white people at?
Oh boy. That's. But I think if reporters they never get to answer questions. They always are the ones that ask.
Let me tell you something. I hate most of the things you say. I don't hate this idea.
See, you say that a lot though. So there's a lot of ideas you like that I come out with.
Well, I mean, the clock, or even a broken clock is right twice a day. I'll say that. But I think that it's true. If reporters have to answer for questions, it evens the playing ground a little bit. Because you imagine Trump being able to ask Jim Acosta some questions. That'd be
Go for
fucking
it.
great.
I'd be for that. And there's a chance that the person asking the question, me, Trump, you, whoever, the mayor, would get schooled and be like, the reporter will have the answer, and it'll be, and that's great.
Well, that's the thing. What if the New York Times then comes out and goes, "Oh, okay, you want to see who's on our editorial board?" And they produce a diverse board. This guy's going to have a lot of egg on his face.
No, then the question is answered, and it's all out in the open. That's the reason for these questions. Not every answer is going to be a horrible revelation. A lot of the questions that get asked would be answered, and we'd move on. That would be, if that's the answer, great. Now we know. Let's move on.
Yeah, but he wasn't really asking a question. He was more he was pretty demonstrative, making a statement.
He was, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my question day.
Got it.
We do it once or twice a year. We get all the news people in a room, and we go, Hannity, question for you. Bang. Lemon, question for you. We just.
Towards the end of the year, because you got to let that build up for a while.
Oh, no, you got to spread it. Every 6 months we do it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, do it right before Christmas. It'll be everybody's little Christmas gift.
Yeah, we do it. Let's see. We do it the week leading up to, or the week after Thanksgiving. And then 6 months before that. Whatever the hell that is. June-ish. Middle of June.
I think they should have to answer questions. Here's the thing, too. This is why I also love this topic, right? Because conservative people, Republicans, right, conservatives, for the most part, don't really love affirmative action. Tend to be more on the racist side, if you will. I'll throw that out there. That's a stereotype. Not everybody. Some. He's actually making a conservative point here. Because he's
Mayor
basically,
Adams.
yeah, he's basically saying, you as the media preach to people all day long about your high and mighty stance of diversity and this and that, and where the fuck is it in your own organizations? I mean, this is something that Trump would say.
Well, that's not a concern. No, it's not a conservative step. It's more of a because I could see a liberal, person, Democrat, asking the media the same thing,
I
saying
don't know.
saying you should diversify.
Well, no, it's different. I'm saying that the media, tends to be more on the liberal side, right? They're always pointing out everybody's faults. Like Joe Rogan's a racist, and here's
Well, that's
why.
the media's job to
Well,
hold people. Well, to hold people in power to task, to bring everything to the forefront.
to hold people in power to task, not.
Yeah, Joe Rogan has power. He's not a government power.
Yeah, but I think my point is they come off with this high and mightiness about how the world should be, and
No,
the
I get
fact
it.
of the matter is that if everybody took care of their own house,
That's why
you probably wouldn't have these issues.
question day.
That's my question today.
I'm with you. I think they should turn the cameras inward every now and then.
Yeah. But it's true though. It's like this guy he pulled a move out of Trump's deck, and it'd be interesting to see how the conservatives handle it.
Questioning the media is not a Trump thing. It's a politician thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Most of them, like you can be like, this guy's a racist piece of shit. I'm not going to condemn you for saying that. Here's where I stand, because people go, you flip-flop and you don't take sides. I don't take a side until a side is ready to be taken. This guy's been here for 46 days. I can't be like, this guy's a fucking racist. Now, the cracker thing, not great. Not a strike for him. Definitely a strike against him. But I'm not sitting there ready to be like, this guy's a fucking horrible. Because he could have been just. By the way, I've been in a room and I've said some pretty crazy things. Not racist things, but I've said some pretty outlandish shit to get a laugh out of a fucking room. Okay, I know what it's like to be in a room and be like, this is going to go over really well and get a line off. So I'm not going to be the type of person to be like, this guy's a racist or fucking Joe Rogan is a racist, because I believe that context really matters. And if you've shown and proven things time and time again, like we just showed with that Sean Spicer tweet and that other fucking asshole who called all the halftime show hoodlums, that's some fucking racist shit to me. It's not a slur per se, but it's fucking racist. So anyway, there's no side to take on this guy yet. That's my feeling.
Okay.
I forgot where I was going with this, dude.
Yeah, I heard the wheels come off right at the end there.
People criticize me for not taking a side. Where was I going with this? That he's calling people out off the bat?
The press,
Shit.
The press is not more diverse. That he's the Trump playbook.
This was in this. Yeah, but where was I going to reiterate this again?
I said that it's a politician's thing to call out the press.
Thank you. Here's where I was going with it. Most politicians, especially Democrats and Republicans before Trump, but since Trump's given Republicans a bit of a backbone, most Democrats will fold to the media pressure.
Backbone.
They have. Come on, Republicans have been standing up.
They've been
standing
up. Yeah, maybe for the wrong shit though. I'm not saying
I didn't
I'm
say it
not
was the
saying
right shit.
Republican shit. I'm saying for defending themselves for leaving the country.
Yeah, I didn't say it was the right shit. I'm just saying they got more of a backbone. In the past, most politicians would apologize, resign, blah, 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 doing and so forth. Trump changed that, especially for Republicans. But Democrats still are playing under the same old rules where they will just bow to pressure, especially media pressure. And I give this guy credit for taking on that establishment, because I'll tell you what he just did. Same thing with Brian Flores. When he files that lawsuit, he's basically saying, okay, I'm not ready to, I don't need to work in the NFL anymore. Nobody's going to give him a job ever again. This guy is basically saying, I don't need the media on my side, because you levy an accusation like that against the media, and they're not going to be friendly to you. They're not going to give you softball easy questions. They're going to make your life a living hell. So I give the guy kudos and credit for fucking throwing that gauntlet down, especially this early on in his mayoralship.
Mayoral?
Doesn't matter.
Mayorness?
We're 2 weeks into Viola. It doesn't really matter at this point. There's no salvaging. I have a good vocabulary.
That's true. All right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think, but I'm telling you, chapter 15, question day.
Well, let me ask you this. Would we be better off if we got rid of all white guys? Because I remember a couple episodes ago, you were like, who's the problem is the white guys.
Yeah, not what I said, but you maybe take a look at what you're doing.
We'd be gone. I'd be gone. I wouldn't be a problem for you anymore.
So there you go. So maybe I'm for it. But
This is a valid question. This is a good question. Would we be better off if we got rid of all of the white guys?
well, we'd be gone, so we wouldn't be better off.
So I'm saying, would society be better off?
That's not the answer. To get rid of anybody.
No.
No, you're an idiot.
But if white guys are the problem, which you kind of alluded to,
No, that's
wouldn't
not what I said.
society be better off if we didn't have any more white guys?
No, you're an idiot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not what I said. I didn't say white people are the problem, or white guys, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I said white people have less. Men have fewer issues when it comes to racism against them. They're not at the butt end of racism.
You said butt end.
I did say butt end.
All right. I think you're walking that back, but I'll have to
Walk your face back.
I'll have to go check it out.
For
It's time for fan feedback, my friend.
I love fan feedback.
Who doesn't?
What do we got? Anything interesting today?
Yeah, we had a lot. In fact, I had I'm using the note cards. I had to start writing it down because I was saving it in so many different places. I was losing track of where it was.
Hold up the note card. We can't see the backs of the note cards. We want to see them as you read them.
Well, no, they're not. They're all written on one. I wrote it all in one.
Well, yeah, you hold them up so we could see the backs of the note cards. So you're hiding like this, as you read them.
But they're all written on. I got 6 things on this one.
Great. Hold it up.
Well, I'm not reading the feedback. This is just telling me where it is.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Man, you're killing me. It's like pulling teeth on this show.
This is going to help the people that are like, do you guys rehearse this show? Clearly, no.
Rehearse. Come on.
Beatrice wrote this really long email to me, and she says, and I quote, Ann, I just wanted to share a few thoughts on the Freedom Convoy happening right now. Canadians support peaceful, lawful protests, but in my opinion, this protest has gone beyond that to become a siege. A lot of Canadians supported the convoy demonstration at first, but I don't believe they continue to support it. I have never supported it. Their demands are unreasonable. COVID mandates are slowly being eased by both provincial and federal governments. Last summer, mandates were eased more quickly, and we suffered a sudden spike in COVID cases that nearly crippled our healthcare system. This time, governments are taking a slower approach to easing the madness. Seems like a better approach to me. It's been reported that 90% of the truckers are immunized. Immunized?
Yep. Immunized.
Yeah. I failed to see how. I have to check. Is PTSD? I have PTSD. I have Viola PTSD.
That's true.
What?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I'm nervous. I got to check with you every time. Make sure I didn't make another mistake. It's been reported that 90.
Don't worry, I'll call you out.
I know you will. I fail to see how this small percentage can hold the industry hostage to their demands. They are camped out in Ottawa and at 4 border crossings that I know of. The crossings are major crossings into Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, and BC. British Columbia.
Very good.
They are trying to ram police vehicles with their trucks and farm vehicles. Some of the truckers also have their children at the protest in hopes of the police being hesitant to use force to shut them down. I think it's disgusting and
wow.
had to stop. A good source for what is happening here. The protests are the CBC.
I'm with her. I'm with her.
And she attached some photos of kids that are at the protest. It's weird. I don't know if protests are a place for kids, but I will say, your old pal Ant was on the old picket line when when it came for Dad to strike for better wages.
When?
I was on the picket lines when I was like 6.
Oh, okay. I thought you for your own thing.
No.
You were when you were a kid.
Yeah, my dad brought me to union organized things. My first words were dada, and my second words were fuck management. So
Those are good. That's fine.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm with you. Hey, childcare is expensive.
right, right, exactly. I learned a lot on those picket lines. A lot.
And
By
made
the
you
way,
into the man you are today.
nobody really walks around in a circle with signs. You more just kind of sit around and eat egg sandwiches and curse at the people who cross.
I think you start doing the sign thing, and then you're like, "Fuck this! I'm sitting down."
just have an egg sandwich outside.
Right.
I remember saying to my dad, like, is this what it is? Seems like we're just sitting, not really protesting. He was like, shut up. It's management's fault. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
He's like, you want a fucking another Star Wars toy? Shut the fuck up and get ready to spit at the next person that crossed this line.
Sit down, eat your egg sandwich, and do what I tell you.
Yeah, do what I tell you. 1,000 people have sent this to me. This guy is so fucking annoying.
Oh,
this
God.
douchebag on TikTok. He
Is it chewing?
What?
Is it chewing?
Is it chewy?
Is it chewing?
Oh no, it's not chewing. No, it's not
Oh,
chewing.
good. Okay, then I can watch it.
No, it's this guy who is like, oh, look, Joe Rogan is pro-vax. His point is not incorrect. He plays the clip and it's great. It takes this motherfucker 45 seconds to play the goddamn clip that's not even his to begin with.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know. That's what we do. But still, we're better and more talented than this piece of shit. Anyway.
Objectively.
Well, no, that's a fact. And he's like, oh, people are going to be upset and this and that. Most of you want to kill me. But he literally talks for like a minute and a half. It's so irritating.
Can you fast forward to TikTok? You could fast forward to TikTok, right? You slide the thing.
And this people were sending this to me and I ignored it because I thought everybody kind of knew this. But perhaps I was wrong. So I will play it just for full transparency. And then I will give my thoughts and explanation on it. So here it is.
You could skip your thoughts.
Tell them it's low risk. It's like the hurricane, okay? You know, I would be really mad at you if I thought you were a hurricane forecaster and you knew this was coming, but you kept telling me, oh, it's low risk, don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah, once it hit.
Yeah, so that's what we need to do today is just say this is going to be challenging. And we're going to get through it, though. We are going to get through it.
I hope this wakes people up to the value of vaccines, too. There's so many wackos out there that think that vaccines are, a scam or they're dangerous or there's so many people out there that won't vaccinate their children.
I know. And that's one of your best shows you ever did was Peter Hotez.
Yes,
he's a dear
I love
friend of
that
mine.
guy.
I do too. He's a dear friend of mine, as you. And,
It sounds like he's talking about the vaccines from when you're a kid.
Right, but just so you know, this was a post-COVID podcast.
Right.
This was right around the
No,
time.
yeah, he's talking about. You could hear the guy that he's talking to.
So what Rogan is referring to, obviously, because you remember Jenny McCarthy and all those people. There was an anti-vax movement back then, and everybody thought these people are batshit crazy. I think people were like, oh, does vaccines lead to what was it? Down syndrome, autism. Thank you. Sorry, autism. And I think people were like, oh, well, maybe that should be studied, and I think they did, and nothing conclusive ever came from it. And so then I think most people put those people back in the wacko bin.
Most people, but it still gained a lot of followers. It's a significant amount.
Yeah, but I think it completely fizzled out.
It has
years
dwindled
ago.
since, I'm sure.
Because even Jenny McCartney walked it back and was like, yeah, there's no, I
McCarthy.
was just angry. And McCarthy? What'd I say?
You said McCartney,
Got it.
like Paul McCartney.
Viola. I did it again.
Man,
Anyway, Yes, so I think that was that. So Joe, but here's the thing. Here's what I feel like this clip proves. This clip doesn't prove that Joe Rogan is inconsistent or a boob. I think this clip proves that Joe Rogan is authentic, and I say that because that was a logical way to feel. Here's what happened to this guy. Okay, he felt this way about vaccines. He's vaccinated. His kids are vaccinated. Okay, all the vaccines that you need to get in school.
The
Joe Rogan.
ones when you're born, yeah.
The ones where you're born, they all have it.
Right.
And he feels like, not getting that is a mistake. Okay.
Right. Agreed.
And then what happens? They come out with the vaccine and two of his friends get vaccinated. He was scheduled to get vaccinated, doesn't, through a freak occurrence because he was going to get it. And then his two friends have catastrophic side effects in the form of strokes. Now, that obviously woke him up and changed his mind. Okay. Did they get strokes because of the vaccine? He seems to think so. A lot of people seem to think so. Could it just be a freak occurrence? Perhaps. I don't know if we'll ever know. I'm not a doctor. We don't study it. I think there's going to be a long time till we figure out exactly what caused what here. But anyway, that's when he changed his mind. So I don't think that he's a wacko. I think he's just had an experience with this, and that has caused him to question it more than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm fine with questioning it. Totally. Because it's, question. When you've got answers, question more, and then when you get more answers, you move on.
This is the guy, by the way, who does the thing. I mean, talk about an annoying face. When Michael Scott, like, when he has like he finally has a story that people want to hear, and he takes like 45 minutes to get to it because he loves that's what this guy did. It's just so fucking
That is annoying. Get to the
so
point.
fucking annoying.
Is there like a time thing? Like if you watch the TikTok for this amount of time, you get like more viewer. Yeah, that's it. So he wants to keep you engaged for as long as possible. That's the thing. Okay.
Just get to the ever-loving point.
It doesn't up your numbers, I guess.
Not in my book, my friend.
Right,
Not in my book.
More fan feedback.
Hazel writes in, is this supposed to be news or the guy in the red shirt, that'd be you, Frank, in this particular episode, taking pot shots at people and drinking? Do you want to know what my response was?
Second thing.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's both.
Yeah, what do you want from me? That's what I do. I wear red shirts and I drink.
David Collins, kind of weird how Ant worries about the N-word and he blurts out about not being a pussy. Same lesson for you, Ant. Is that a bad thing?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I think he's basically saying like, oh, if I call somebody a pussy, I'm calling them a woman, and that's a derogatory thing. But what I think David fails to realize is that when I refer to Frank as a liberal pussy, it is a sort of a ironic character-y thing. Especially, it was done in the Trump voice, so I don't really think that Frank is a liberal pussy. I know he is.
Right.
Just jokes, people. Let me see here. There's so many of them.
Keep them coming, folks. Write them in the in Facebook, YouTube, right in the comments, because we love it. We read them all. As many as we can get to. We read them all on our own, the three of us.
Yeah.
And then we try to do as many as we can in the fan feedbacks.
Okay. People love the Viola TikTok. Not the one that Convict Donald. They give him credit too, Convict Donald, which is great.
Convict Donald.
Fuck. But they love the lady who did the soundbite and just did the voiceover.
That was good.
They love that. Carly just wrote in about that. People love that girl.
That was good. She did a great job. Also, she was in some weird tropical location, which we all kind of want to be.
Oh, totally. Totally. Pam, it's funny that nobody can tell you what information was wrong with the Joe Rogan podcast. And then she also said, you guys need to educate yourselves about the vaccine. Joe Rogan is right.
Oh, I could tell you what was wrong.
Yeah.
The fact that he said that if you're healthy and young, you don't need to get it. That was wrong.
Yeah. Anna writing in, not a fan of the F word either. Won't watch again. Hate to see you go.
Oh well. F word's part of life, people.
It sure is.
We're not
Buddy.
on the Disney Channel here.
Yeah. People are split on Virginia Giuffre. Legal. I love what Virginia did. She stopped when she had to and did not let the victimization continue to ruin her life. She's a person, not an existential issue, and we won't really know what he did to settle. He lost 4 times the amount of money. One way or another, I don't think she. Size on her side.
Yeah, it's her call, and in the end of the day, it's her decision. So
People on the other side too. Angie writes in, my jaw dropped. I did not expect her to settle. I'm still in shock over that.
it is shocking. It totally is. And we were all like, "Oh wow, this guy, we're gonna get justice, maybe." But it doesn't. Again, the verdict would mean that she gets money, and that's what they settled on anyway. It's not like he was gonna see jail time.
Mm. Jerry, what a huge disappointment. This could have opened the door to so many more creeps.
That's a good point too. But I get, yeah, it's her at the end of the day. Again, it's her. It's Virginia's choice whether or not to drag this out another year. And you can't blame someone who's been through something like that for wanting to end it all. To end the nonstop litigation and everything.
Olivia, I remember the reports actually saying she would not be happy with the settlement alone without some admission of guilt. Don't forget, the FBI is still waiting to talk to Prince Andrew. It really is not over. I think Virginia did what was right for her, and I applaud it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Great point, Olivia. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I certainly respect it.
You don't agree with it?
No, I mean, I agree with it. I just wish she would have fought it.
Oh yeah, of course. We all wanted to see, this asshole have to admit that what he did and be caught and be found guilty and all this. We want that. Absolutely. But again, when you're the victim, you have to do what's best for you.
But here's what I disagree with.
Yeah.
That was an admission of guilt. He admitted to being friends with Epstein. He didn't admit to any sort of.
I know that would have been gravy. That would have been great if he would have admitted what happened. Absolutely.
I disagree with Olivia. I love the comment, Olivia. I appreciate the listen and the watch.
Again, I wish we would have gotten a guilty verdict or an admission of guilt. That would be great. But
and again, I'm not unrealistic. I know if he admits to it, he's gonna have to then really talk to people. Really talk to the FBI. So
yeah, he can't deny it though, which is something at least.
Annie writes in, I'm with the previous comment. God knows what they were up against. She could have been threatened by the royal family. Anything is possible. The royal family would never allow Andrew to be deposed. Regardless, Andrew is a low-life piece of shit. He's finished. But I feel like only people that really care about that know. I don't think a lot of people know. It would have been a bigger deal if he was up on that stand and he lost the case.
Yeah, no, that would have been great. It definitely is it is a disappointment to not see him come to justice in some way. To see it settled out is it is a disappointment. But again, when you're a victim, you have to do what's best for you.
Disappointed. This is from Shirley. Disappointed to hear about the settlement. I'm with you, Anthony, on Bob Saget's death. The very first report about his death, how he was laying peacefully in bed and died. I felt it was not truthful. I believe everyone involved tried to keep his image clean and positive. I don't need or want the gory details, just feel dishonest reporting is offensive to me. I'll give Shirley some credit here. I think it was awfully like, let's hurry up and hurry up. This is, it was very unfortunate he died. He was lying down, it was fine, he was happy. No drugs, everything was good. Like it felt like that very much from the get-go.
Yeah, but when something like that, there was no blood, you have to get the autopsy report before you say, well, this is what happened, because they didn't know. It could have been a heart attack, could have been a stroke, could have been this or that. When you first come onto the scene like that, all you see is a guy lying in bed. You don't know what happened. You can't really tell because there's no blood, and you can't tell from the back of the head. They had to do an autopsy to figure all that out. So the first reports we got were he was in bed, and there didn't seem to be any foul play. That's all we knew.
We're putting out vertical videos now, little highlights from the show every day, or almost every single day.
Can we do diagonal videos?
I think that's the next craze. You're the Elon Musk of social media, dude. That was brilliant.
Diagonal videos?
Fucking love a diagonal video right now.
That'd be great. Can
It'd
we?
be the best.
Is there a way to put our images diagonally?
I'm gonna try my hardest. The problem is we don't have diagonal phones to support it.
That's true.
I don't want to go with this. I want a diagonal phone.
No,
Yeah, I don't want to do this. I felt like Ryan on The Office. You ever see that scene where he's like, I want an iPod that makes phone calls. And the person he's talking to on the phone is like, you mean an iPhone? He's like, no, I don't mean an iPhone. I want an iPod that makes phone calls. I don't want this. I want a diagonal phone.
I hear you.
Anyway, the last one we put out was our failure to spell the word bear right when we said Adidas Bears. I forget even what the rest of the sentence was, but
we got to go back to whatever that joke was, the 3 bears, whatever the hell we said.
Well, that's in the highlight. That's your joke was in. Yeah,
I got to look at that highlight.
That was the crescendo. If you didn't see it yet. Anyway, La Cibola says y'all are just the best. LMFAO. I was watching that episode thinking y'all just completely gave up on grammar.
First of all,
you'll be all right. Stay lifted.
we did kind of give up on grammar, but you know, when you throw a word like y'all out there.
Well, and also you claim to have known about it, but you didn't say anything at the time, and you didn't call me out for.
No, I didn't. I looked at it and I didn't know. I didn't know at the time, but I should have called. I should have been able to spot it, but I didn't spot it.
We spelled bears BEARS instead of BARES.
You know why? Yeah, no, bear. I get it.
Because we're stupid.
BARE is the right way, but what's weird is like to bear arms is BEAR.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I can't back you up on that. I'm
100% sure.
Even if I did, what credibility do I have at this point?
You don't. But I'll look it up because
look it up. I'm going to read the next comment. Helen writing in, only my son can achieve reducing me to tears of laughter. Thanks again, you crazy fab trio. That was again regarding the Bears thing.
Yeah. Here's the Second Amendment.
Lady Drake, I thought, LOL, I thought Anthony was going to fall right off his chair. Well, when you started the porridge bit, I was dying.
You were gone.
Fucking dying.
You were gone.
Go ahead. Hold that back up again, Frank.
It's the right to keep and bear arms is the Second Amendment.
Holy shit. Did we misspell it on the Second Amendment? That feels wrong.
Doesn't it feel wrong? Shouldn't it be BA? I feel like it should be BARE.
I don't know. I'm afraid to have an opinion.
Maybe we've been getting it wrong. There was a Family Guy bit. I don't know. Understand what we're saying wrong here. Right to have a pair of bear arms hanging in your house.
Okay, it might be one of the greatest handles I've ever seen. Just Me writes, I feel she was threatened to settle. Is it just me, or is that a good comment?
I like it. It's both.
I don't know if she was threatened to settle. Maybe.
You never know, but there's no evidence of that.
Leisha says the same thing. I bet she was pressured big time and finally caved. I get it.
Maybe.
I just thought she was in a unique position where she didn't need the money. She's already suffered through this stuff.
Exactly. And I think that's what happened there.
But I'm saying, like, you think it would be you think she would be like, I just really bought into it when she was like, we're writing this out all the way because it's what's right.
I know.
So anyway, that's really it.
Yeah. No, believe me, we all wish that it would have been carried out, and he would have had to go through his humiliation of being found guilty and everything. But again, it's her choice. You got to respect it.
Did I read the comment from the masseuse last episode?
I'm not sure.
I can't
tell. You may
tell.
have. Yeah. There was a few comments, so maybe, I don't know.
Regarding the masseuse, it's not that weird to be nude in a massage. Did I read that?
It sounds familiar.
Okay. All right. Then I've gone too far.
Yeah, because we talked about that a little bit after.
I feel like I'm missing a big one here. I try to keep track of all of them. Anyway, we're out of time.
Yeah, we got that's plenty, I think. Plus, we got the next show. We'll keep doing these fan feedbacks.
Yes. Yeah.
So keep them coming. Give us your opinions on the stories that we talk about, on us, whatever your opinions are. We'll try to highlight some of them.
Yeah, because you know what the old saying is around the old podcast hallways here. Opinions are like assholes, and boy, do we love assholes.
It's a good opinion. That's a T-shirt. Boy, do we love assholes.
We should write that shirt. That is good. There's nobody said that before. I'm actually falling in love with that. The more and more I think about it.
Yeah, I'm the other way on it. The more and more
opinions are like assholes, and boy, do we love assholes.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing you've ever said.
Yeah, I mean, assholes can be a great thing. Merch up on the store, shopanthonyair.com. Check out all the new stuff. The Janine stare, the My Phone's About to Die, the Viola, the Grehead. Grehead. I don't do it as good as you. You do it good, Frank. Do it again.
Grehead.
Yeah, beautiful. And of course, don't forget your Jumpstart Coffee Company. Link in the description below. Order up some Jumpstart. You're supporting the Navy SEALs. You're supporting us. We will go away if you stop buying Jumpstart Coffee Company.
Don't tell them that.
I promise you. I promise. At least when you support the show, you're getting a shirt or some coffee out of it. So that's a nice thing.
Yeah, it's not give and you get nothing in return.
Yeah.
You get a product, great product.
Although we do have some people that do that. They just give because they love the content, which I love them the most. They are the favorites.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're wonderful people.
That should not be overlooked.
No, it should not be. I keep asking too if we should read out those names of the supporters, but they don't really seem. Nobody's really been like, "Hey, I support you. I'd like to hear my name." Nobody's ever said that. If they do, I will do it.
That. Why would they say that?
I don't know. I'm very appreciative to them. Anyway,
we should tell them. Listen, if you want your name read, give us.
I'm appreciative to anybody that spends time with us, though. So
that's true.
That's it for us. Next episode, hopefully we'll have J Sabs back. I think she's dying of the vid. I can't prove it yet, but we'll find out. Also, there's a J Sabs cousin update coming.
Uh-oh.
Boom.
Really? That good, huh?
Boom. I don't know if it's good, but we got one, so I'll take it.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching and or listening. J Sabs cousin update next show when she's here. We'll catch you on the next episode.